Veterans, VA discrimination on compensation claims. What are your options? In today's video, I'm going to take you to the VA's website and share with you some valuable information as it pertains to discrimination, your rights, and how you can file a complaint. Make sure you stick around. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran, retired VA rating specialist, and your VA claim nugget man. Before I get into today's video, I'm going to ask you to do me that favor. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. Also, don't forget to click the link in the description section and pick up my new book, The VA Compensation Blueprint. It's time to win. So today's video, I was on the VA's website doing some research, and I came across something that I hadn't previously seen on their website. Now, I'm not saying it's never been there because there's a lot of information on their website, but this is the first time I came across it, and I thought I would share it with you. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen. Now, the link to this site is in the description section. So if you ever have to use it, come back to this video, click the link in the description section, and it's going to take you here, okay? So it states your civil rights and how to file a discrimination complaint. States at VA, we do not exclude people or treat them differently based on and they give you the different types of discrimination. Learn more about your civil rights and find out how to file a complaint if you feel you've experienced discrimination. Now, I'm going to ask this question up front. As it pertains to the compensation piece, have you ever felt you've been discriminated against? Okay. And outside of the compensation piece, maybe under VHA or another department under VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration, have you ever felt discriminated against? Okay. If you don't feel like sharing, I totally get it. I understand. Okay. So the first one here, your civil rights at VA. By law, you have the right to access VA benefits, services, programs without discrimination based on any of these factors. Okay. And they have the factors there. For example, a VA program can't deny you services or benefits simply because of one of these factors. All right. Now, if you have filed a complaint based on one of these factors for compensation, we'll just stick to compensation. Okay. Let me know, how did it turn out for you? Okay. But again, if you don't feel comfortable sharing, do not share. Okay. You have these rights in any VA program, in any program that receives VA funding. Okay. So I'm thinking, and keep in mind, we're talking about compensation. What about third-party examiners? Those organizations, they got a contract. Okay. Have you had any issues based on these factors from a third party CMP examiner? Okay. Let's go here. I'm not going to click on learn more about laws that protect your civil rights. There's some you can look at, but we're going to get into how to file a discrimination complaint. Now, any complaint or you submit any form, you want to read and understand how you file any VA form, and make sure you're filing the up-to-date form or complaint. Okay. If you're using a form, if you think you've experienced discrimination at VA or in a VA funded program, you can file a complaint with our external complaints program. Okay. Now, I didn't call this number they have down below to see, okay, are these VA employees or this is a third party contractor? Okay. But if I had a complaint based on those factors that we saw that was listed above, I would be asking a question. Are you a VA employee? What is the name of your organization? Who do you report to? Okay. Who has oversight over this? Okay. Where does this complaint go? Is the person that I have the complaint about, are they going to see it? Are they going to be talk to or have a conversation with, all right? Then it says what to know before you file a complaint. So they got three different bullet comments here. This program is for veterans, caregivers, family members, and others who use VA benefits and services. Okay. You can file a claim for yourself or for a family member or friend. Okay. You should file within 180 days of when you think the discrimination happened. If you don't file within 180 days, you can explain why you waited when you filed your complaint. Okay, so they're giving you some very valuable information. 180 days from when you think it happened. Now, I'm thinking name of the person, if you have it, the name of the person's supervisor. Okay, that might be a little bit hard to get. Maybe in some cases, not. The location. Okay, if it's under VHA, was it at a VA medical center or a community care provider? If it was under VBA, did you have an issue with a voc rehab employee? Maybe a decision review officer during an informal conference? Okay, so you might want to start recording those informal conferences because I just noticed on my phone, and I have an Android, there was a little button you can press on the screen and it'll say, hey, this phone call is being recorded. Okay. Because it's not what you say, it's what you can prove. All right. You don't need to have a lawyer to file a complaint, but you can seek legal representation if you like. For help, they give you an 800 number, tell you what selection, option 4. Okay. So again, what I'm getting at, people, is building that evidence. It's not what we say, is what we can prove. If you're a VA employee, you'll need to use a different program to submit a complaint. All right. Then it goes on instructions for how to file a complaint. To file a complaint, send us a signed letter with details about your complaint. Include as many details as you can in the form or letter. Be sure to at least include these details: your name, your address, and your phone number. If you file a complaint for someone else, include both your information and theirs. The VA location where you believe the discrimination happened. Okay, we just talked about that. Okay, how, why, and when you think you were discriminated against. Now, this is where evidence is going to come into play. Okay, tell us as much as you can, including the names of anyone involved in the issue. Let's just take compensation. Okay, and there is a particular rating decision. And I wouldn't use this just because, hey, I don't like their decision. That's, come on now. I don't think that's evidence. You just disagree with that decision. But let's say they put some information in there, okay, that you feel that they discriminate against you based on one of the factors at the top of this site. What you can do, you can call the VA White House hotline and you can tell them exactly what you plan on doing, but you want to file a complaint and you want the person's maybe first name or last initial, or they did that rating decision, because you need to put their name in the complaint. At a minimum, you need to know which regional office they worked at. Now, the VA White House hotline is not going to be able to give you that information. You can either get it from the 800 number. I don't know if they'll give it to you based on these circumstances, but when you contact the VA White House hotline, you could tell them, hey, I need this complaint sent to the regional office where the rating specialist or the decision review officer work out of. Okay? Because it's going to go directly to that regional office management team. And then you could ask for a return phone call from the supervisor of this person. So when you get on the phone with that supervisor, you can say, hey, what's your name? What regional office do you work out of? And they'll tell you. And then you can put that information in your complaint. So once it's escalated, they don't have to be running around and, well, where does this person work or where does that person work? Same thing if you call the 800 number. and you have an issue with an employee, just say, hey, look, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but what's your name, first name, and what regional office do you work out of? Okay. So you can put all that information in the complaint form. Okay. Other people we can contact to learn about your complaint. Again, when you call the 800 number, boom, you need to record it. More than likely, they're recording it too. Informal conference, record it. You go to public contact and you sitting there with somebody, record it. Okay. Because again, people, is not what we say, is what we can prove. Now, it states send your letter to this address. Okay. Here's a nugget for you, people. Would I overnight this? Probably not, unless I'm close to that 180 day window. I would get this certified. Okay. Because we know when you get it certified, you get a tracking number. Okay. And you can follow it. You can print all that stuff out and make sure you put that in your folder so they can't say, hey, we didn't get it. All right. Then it goes on to say what to expect after you file. But hey, before we get into this, I forgot. The letter, might want to get it notarized. It's not mandatory or anything like that. Get it notarized. Keep a copy of everything. So if they lose something and you need to resend it, get the person's name, keep that correspondence that said resend it, and resend that correspondence back with whatever they're asking. Okay. What to expect after you file a complaint. First, our external complaints program staff. Again, I'm asking, I'm even curious, are they VA employees? Will review your complaint. They'll make sure they have the information they need to proceed. They'll also make sure that we at VA have the legal authority to investigate your complaint. Then they'll send your complaint to the administration involved, VHA, VBA, and NCA. And for those of you who don't know, those are the three different sections of the VA. But here's a quick quiz for you. Tell me, which section do you think compensation falls under? I'm about to test your knowledge, okay? All right. The administration will review your complaint and assign an investigator. The investigator will gather more information in one or more of these ways. They may interview you. They may interview people who witness. They may gather documents relating to what happened. They may visit the location where you think you experienced discrimination, okay? And that's it. Yeah, that is it. Okay. So that's some valuable information. So if you ever felt that you were discriminated against for any of those factors that I showed you as it pertains to the compensation process, compensation claims process, that's what we're talking about, but any process within the VA, hey, go ahead and let me know if you feel comfortable. But now you know how to proceed. Again, people, I dropped some huge nuggets. Make sure you start recording people. Make sure you keep documentation as it pertains to these complaints. Write stuff down. Okay. Again, it is not what we say, it is what we can prove. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.